Hi there, it's Stephanie from Mommy Standard Time, and welcome to my channel. It's been a while. I started strong with Vlogmas, and then I ended up with this big project, and I had to put YouTube kind of on the back burner for a few months. Now, when I got started back up with filming, I thought, oh, this will be an interesting day. We'll film this. This is a day in the life. I need to get back into filming for YouTube. One of the things I had that day was an oncology appointment, and it resulted in a cancer scare. Now, I am not about clickbait or, causing drama, so I'm going to tell you right up front, I do not have cancer again. My cancer has not come back, but I wanted to just say that up front. On the surface, it doesn't sound like very much. Oh, I had to have a scan and then a follow-up scan. So that doesn't sound all that horrible. But believe me, it rocked my world for weeks. This dragged on for weeks. You'll see, it started around St. Patrick's Day and went through spring break and then through Easter. So it was rough. And I also wanted to do this quick introduction because I wanted to include a trigger warning. If you have gone through something similar, if scans give you a lot of anxiety, I just wanted you to know that that is what this video is. It is me literally day to day going to scans, going to appointments, reacting to those appointments, reacting to news. And it's reality, but I also don't want to trigger those of you who might be sensitive to that kind of situation. So I just wanted to include that. I will see you at the end of this video just to talk a little bit about what I learned from this experience and hopefully what others can learn by watching what I went through. I know I'm just one person, but I always like to try and learn something from anything I watch on YouTube or people I interact with. So I will give you a few takeaways. Hi there, it's Stephanie from Mommy Standard Time. It's been a while. It's been a minute since I've talked to you. I'm sorry about the weird shadow on my face. It's very bright and the phone is kind of blocking some of the light, but not all of it. So this is what it is. So what am I doing today? Today, I got to my appointment a little bit early, so I figured I would film and tell you a little bit about where I'm at cancer-wise. So as you can tell, it's been a while since I've had chemo. My hair has grown back and then some. And I am now having checkups. I was having them every 6 months, but then we moved here and I shared some just physical concerns that I've been having. And I don't feel like I have cancer coming back. And I told my doctor that. I just know that I don't feel awesome, which is kind of the case with cancer survivors. Your body is ravaged by chemo, radiation. I have implants that cause physical discomfort sometimes. So I know I'm a bit of a mess and I just need to talk to a regular doctor about it. But my oncologist decided she wanted to talk to me every 3 months for a while now. So I'm here at a checkup. Appointment days are hard. I'm not gonna lie. They stir up a lot of memories and a lot of emotions. Like right now I'm watching women with headscarves coming out and it makes you feel very guilty. I don't know, I feel petty bringing up my physical discomforts, knowing that other people are going through much worse. But then they push and push and they want you to tell them everything that's going on with you. So you do. And then they go, oh yeah, that's not cancer. And I'm like, well, I know, but you asked me how I was doing and you're pushing and pushing. So it's so weird. I don't like cancer checkups. I just don't. And I'm sure you can tell I've gained some weight since the last time you've seen me. I just keep packing on the pounds. So I'm really not looking forward to going to the doctor today. Anyway, have I complained enough? I am so grateful to be alive. I really am. And I'm grateful that I can go to these checkups and yes, but I still have to go in there And I do have a letter that was sent to me by my previous cancer place about some new research, and I might be interested in more genetic testing. So I'm going to take that letter with me if I can find it. I think it's up here, and see what she has to say about it. All right, I'll check in with you afterwards. Okay, so I made it back. So Ladybug was over at a friend's house while I was at my appointment. So I went and picked her up. And honestly, it is so, let's see if you can see, it is so beautiful outside. So it was lunchtime. We went and grabbed a bite to eat from I think Taco Time it was. And then we went to a park that she has been wanting to go to forever. Every time we drive past it, she wants to go. But the problem is that you have to park far away from the park and then walk in. And so it's just never convenient. You know, you can't just park and then run for 5 to 10 minutes. It's a bigger ordeal. So we don't usually go to that park, but she was excited to go. We saw some ducks, didn't we, sis? Yep. And now we're back. So I just thought I would give you a quick update on how the appointment went. More of the same. So a lot of rehashing all the things that are going wrong with my body, but feeling embarrassed to talk about it. And I don't know, I just feel weird going over it. So we did discuss, for the past month, I've been having, well, I've always had rib pain since early on in my survivorship, and we've looked into it. I've had x-rays done, no sign of anything. But the past month or so, I've been getting like some really big pain, and I thought it might be chiropractic related. So I've been going in and out to the chiropractor and haven't seen a whole lot of results. So I was just mentioning that to my doctor, and what's so funny is that, you know, she's like, well, I'm pretty confident it's not cancer, but it's definitely not chiropractic related in her mind. So basically, she just wants me to have a nuclear medicine bone scan. I'm just waiting to hear back about that appointment, and we'll just keep on keeping on. I'm grateful to be alive, but my ribs are definitely angry with me this afternoon because we've been poking and prodding them. I just leave them alone. I try not to mess with them because when I do, they start to get really sore. So I just wanted to bring that up to the doctor, and now she wants to just double check that there's nothing there, and she's confident, just like I am, that there's nothing there. I was going to show you the rest of our evening and maybe turn this into a day in the life, but I just got a phone call that my test is scheduled for tomorrow morning. So I think I will just turn this into a little cancer update. I will take you along with me tomorrow. So I'll see you in the morning when I go get my contrast for my test. Well, hi. So I have my bone scan today, and the appointment happens in kind of 2 phases. So the first phase is to get my tracer put in, and it is similar to a PET scan is what it kind of reminded me of. So this particular tracer, though, it has a much longer half-life, and so I'm actually able to go. I just come back in 3 hours, whereas the PET scan, you have to kind of sit still and wait for about 20 minutes, and then they do the scan. So they're going to do a head-to-toe scan. There's always a little bit of anxiety anyway when you have testing after cancer, but we're pretty confident it's nothing. So I will just go. Ladybug is up with hubby up at work, actually, and I'm going to go grab some lunch for him, go pick her up, and then she and I will hang out for a little bit while we wait for my next appointment. I just finished the scan for my bone scan, and I'm doing some parking lot driving and side street driving for a second, so I thought I'd just tell you I'm in a rush to go get Ladybug. again. So anyway, so they said I'll have results mid next week. Today is Friday, so it'll take a little while for the report to get to my oncologist and then for her to contact me. So okay, so sorry if I'm shaking. It is Tuesday. My bone scan was Friday, and I told you I would tell you when I got my results because they were probably nothing. And yes, my chest is good. They are now confident in telling me that my chest is free of cancer, that it is most likely radiation damage. And my oncologist was telling me that she talked to the radiation oncologist just to kind of confirm her suspicions that it was just damage. And they looked over my records and how much radiation I got at the time. And that's the thing about breast cancer especially, is they change and have best practices change constantly. Research just continues to fuel how they approach all cancers, but especially breast cancer too. So I had way more radiation than they recommend now. Current research recommends less radiation. And so that it is very common for women who have had the amount of radiation that I have had to have radiation damage. And she was, I'm going to keep looking and see if there's ways we can make you more comfortable. And I told her, I said, I think as long as I know it's not cancer, I'm good. So anyway, so that was actually the end of our conversation. The beginning of the conversation was a little trickier. And that's why I'm shaking. So anyway, I had been on the phone with my mom, and I got off the phone and there was a message from my oncologist. Anyway, she had called me directly, and then she said, please call me back. And if I'm in the room with a patient, have me pulled out. So of course, my heart is just like beating out of my chest. If you've been there, you get it. There was a reason that she was in a hurry to talk to me. I did have a spot show up on my scapula. So back here, and this is the side that I had cancer on. So anyway, she said that her concern level is low because it is very small. She never said that her concern level is low, that it might not be cancer or that it is cancer. She just said her concern level is low because it's tiny and I don't have a lot of cancer like everywhere else. I didn't light up like a Christmas tree. I just have the one tiny dot. And so she talked to the radiologist who does imaging, and just to kind of see what the next steps would be to confirm what this is on my scapula. And they said that they wanted to do a CT scan just to mainly confirm that it's there. And then from there, we'll make some other decisions. But if I hadn't started this, I wouldn't be finishing this conversation. Because I'm not all about drama, that is for sure. But it's hard because your brain tells you that it's nothing and concern level is low, like my doctor said. But trauma, having been through all of this before, the testing, the telling yourself it's nothing, but then have it be something, all the follow-up testing. So I am still telling myself it's probably nothing. But I do have faith that if it is something, that we caught it early, and I'm grateful for that. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. I don't know when my test is going to be. So as of right now, I just wanted to film this because I had started this story. So I'm going to finish it regardless of the outcome. But I wanted to do this while Ladybug was plugged in. She was having screen time, luckily, when all this was going down. And before I go pick up my kids, because this isn't a conversation that we're going to be having with them until we have some answers. And if you're curious, I have cried all of the tears that I have right now. It's been a rough afternoon. Well, holy cow. This is the first time I'm looking at myself. Okay. Well, anyway, today is St. Patrick's Day. What is that? Wednesday? And there's been no news. I told myself, after the lunch hour, if I hadn't heard anything, I would call. Because my last scan, I had my appointment. The scan people, the insurance pre-authorization, all of that, everybody was at lunch. It was noon when I left my appointment. And they called me by like 3 o'clock that afternoon. And so it was like just about 24 hours and I hadn't heard anything. So I decided to call. And the lady was like, yeah, sometimes it takes, 2 days to hear back from insurance. And I thought, well, that's weird because the other one went way faster. Anyway, it's fine. I'm fine waiting for my appointment, but I'm just getting anxious. So just to distract myself, Ladybug and I went to Walmart and the dollar store, and I just got the stuff to do like a leprechaun store. And so I gave each of the kids 5 gold coins that they used to trade it, to buy things from our little leprechaun store that was full of green things. And that was fun. And then I also made these little Jello cup things that I saw on Instagram. It's a little really cheap to make. I did it differently than she did, but you get the little green Jello cups. And then I actually found those foam sheets for only $1, and they had yellow and green, the perfect color green. So I used that for the brim. And anyway, they turned out really cute for $2. And so I'm gonna have that on the dinner plates tonight. So that was a fun distraction. And then we went to the park, hung out. I have found that I have to keep myself busy when I wait. All right, so it is Thursday afternoon. It is well after 4 o'clock. So it looks like it's gonna be another day with no news. It was another day where I just kind of took it one step at a time. This morning in the shower, I was listening to Amy Marion's channel. She's great. If you don't follow her, you definitely should. Anyway, she just said to keep yourself from feeling down and overwhelmed, to just choose one task. Just do one thing that will help you feel like you've accomplished something, and then try again tomorrow. Just take it one day at a time. And honestly, that was the best thing for me to hear today, this morning when I was facing a new day of waiting. So I tackled all of our paperwork to get everything ready for tax time. Well, it is tax time. I need to do our taxes. So I was just going through all of our paperwork to make sure I had all of our forms ready, and that was it. Went to the park. We got back from the park and Ladybug was wanting to snuggle, so she took a little cat nap on my lap, which was wonderful. She never does that, so I was grateful for that little tender mercy today. And now we're just doing after school chores and gonna get dinner going. But yeah, with it being after 4 o'clock, I highly doubt I will be getting a phone call today. So hopefully tomorrow's the day we have some news. All right, well, happy Friday. I'm working on laundry and taxes. Those were the 2 things I gave myself today. I don't think I'll finish taxes. What a nightmare. Anyway, but I told myself if I didn't hear from them by 1 o'clock, so after the lunch hour, that I would call. And so I did, and I actually got a different person. This was the person, the scheduler, who was able to schedule my first scan so quickly. And I don't know what went on with the person I called earlier this week, but I got this other lady on the phone and she looked through my file and said something about something getting added kind of late, but kind of was like hemming and hawing a little bit about why things didn't get scheduled. And she said, so I can schedule that now and I'll call you right back. I wish I had called yesterday, but I didn't want to make a pest of myself because I probably could have had the scan yesterday and possibly had results today. But now it's Friday, so I will get to wait for the whole weekend. But at least I will have had the scan done, and then they can call me hopefully Monday or Tuesday. It's a CT scan. I don't know if they're going to do contrast or not. I'll let you know once we do that. But I just need to say all of my insides are shaking. If you've ever lived through something similar where you're waiting for test results or waiting for a test, but it's triggering memories from the last time you did all of this and it wasn't good news, like it's hard. All right, so look at me with makeup on. that means I had my test, right? I left the house. Okay, so I just got done with my CT scan. So after she called, she said, yep, we can get you in this afternoon in just a couple hours. And so I had to actually go pick up one of my kids from school early so I could get them all back under one roof. So my oldest, who's 13, so he could watch everybody while I came and did this test. Apparently I've never had a CT scan before. And the technician did warn me. She goes, so this is the one where it feels like you're peeing your pants? And I'm like, I don't feel like I've had that before. And sure enough, after they got the IV in and you start, the scan is super quick, but then they start, they let the contrast go through your IV and you feel it in your arm and your hand. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I feel that big rush of liquid. And then all of a sudden it's like, legit, you feel like you pee your pants. And so I'm glad she warned me about that because I would have been very self-conscious. Anyway, so no, I didn't pee my pants, but I sure felt like it. She did tell me that it was already on the radiologist's radar. That sounds funny. That it was already on his radar. And so he was going to read it this afternoon and send the results to my doctor this afternoon. Most likely, she only works 3/4 time, so she's probably already gone for the day, my oncologist. But she has been known to call me at like 6:30 at night. So there's a chance, especially if it's bad news, that she might try and call me. Otherwise, it'll be another long weekend of waiting. Again, I'll keep you posted. I'll keep filming because now we're all invested in this story, right? I have a feeling it's nothing. But I will tell you, it's been a really hard week. I've been a ball of nerves. I've been anxious. I've been short-tempered. I just feel like my insides have been going like this all week. Anyway, so I'm ready. I'm ready to just have this issue closed up, sealed up, and we'll be good to go. All right, well, happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday and still no news. I've resorted to projects. Like yesterday, I moved my desk around so that I have a background behind me when I'm sitting at my desk. Because a lot of times when I need to go on a Zoom or something, I have to go somewhere else because I don't have a backdrop for my computer. So anyway, I did that yesterday. So this morning I woke up and I thought, I'm just gonna get a call on the radar because I have a feeling my doctor's not working this week. She takes a full week off every month. She works 3/4 time. So I have a feeling she's not working and that my results are just gonna be on the back burner. So I just called. They transferred me to a nurse, which was voicemail, left a message. The voicemail said, we'll return your call in the order of priority and urgency. So mine's not urgent. So it'll be a while. But I wanted to get that, I just wanted to get on the radar. So hopefully we'll hear something today. I can put on a smile, but inside I'm just shaking and I'm on the verge of tears all the time. So this is horrible. Waiting is horrible. So, all right, well, I gotta get to work. I swear this is just dragging on and on. So the nurse did end up calling me back at like 6 o'clock. And we were in the middle of the store, so I couldn't ask any follow-up questions. She just said, oh, I just don't know how to read these things, but I do see here that it says no abnormalities noted that would explain the hot spot on the bone scan and that a PET scan might be necessary. But I'm cautiously optimistic. My doctor's gonna be back in today and is going to call me. Part of the reason that doesn't put me at ease necessarily is because, again, if you go back through my story, I actually had a tumor for a year before it was found. And actually, I just visibly saw it because it had grown so large. My doctor felt the tumor. She could feel it a year prior to that when I was breastfeeding and I had imaging and it didn't show up. So I really do have a hard time trusting imaging. So if one scan says there's something there, I guess I've never had a false positive. I've had a false negative. So I don't know. I'm nervous still. I'm optimistic though. That was a good first step, is the CT scan being clean, but I'll wait to see what the oncologist says. I'm sure she will consult with the radiologist before she contacts me. So more waiting. All right, so I heard from the doctor, and she consulted with an additional radiologist. So now 2 radiologists, and they both, along with my doctor, recommend a PET scan. It's not over. This whole ordeal is not over, and I'm sorry. And I think my overarching emotion right now is just anger. I try to always have a positive outlook on things, and I'm hopeful. I'm still hopeful. And she even said her worry is low, but we want answers. If it's going to be negative, we want it to be a conclusive negative. So there's my update. They're expediting this one just because I had to wait around so long for this last CT scan. She apologized for that. And so hopefully this one will go a little bit more quickly. I'm hopeful that I can have a test in the next day or 2. I'm bummed today and I'm angry. And I think my anger is because we got a medical bill yesterday for an unrelated thing that my husband went through. He had to go to the ER, and we got the bill. It was like $800. And I'm just so angry that I feel like we never get ahead. I'm watching people take the vacations we wanted to take for spring break, but wanted to be responsible with our money. And now we're even just putting our spring break plans on hold because we've got to finish this. So we wait. I was really angry yesterday, just because at that point I didn't know when this PET scan was going to get scheduled, and I thought, we can't even plan our spring break, which is next week. We can't even plan spring break because we have to stay available for this stupid scan, and I was mad. So I had a little meltdown. So, my mom just looked at me, we were FaceTiming, she said, I'm just going to come down there and visit you. It's about a 4.5 hour drive. She drove here yesterday and has just been hanging out with me and with Ladybug because the big kids are in school. And we've just been having a nice time. And she's probably gonna stay until the hubby, he has spring break off. And so she's just gonna hang out until he's off. And then it's kind of the changing the guards, keeping track of me. I don't know. I'm just not in a super awesome headspace right now. I can be kind of irritable at times and weepy out of nowhere. So I do my best to shield it from the kids. So anyway, today they called to schedule the PET scan, and they can't get me in until April 5th. It's time to enjoy our spring break together as a family and make some plans. And I will keep you posted on PET scan day. Well, hey there. It's been about a week since I talked to you last. It is Easter Sunday, April 4th. Tomorrow is my PET scan, and our family just got back from just about 6 days away. Nothing elaborate, no big vacation or anything. It was just a week away, which is what we needed. We were able to find somebody to watch our dog, which was so helpful. And yeah, we just enjoyed time together as a family. And I had a few moments where I got a little bit emotional, but just being able to be present with my family without all the just everyday stuff. So I'm feeling refreshed and in kind of a good headspace going into tomorrow. Friday, they called me to confirm my appointment, and this was different. So they want me on basically a no carb diet for 24 hours and then fasting for 6 hours beforehand. Now, most of you are like, well, no carb, that's not a problem. And it probably wouldn't have been, except we were traveling today and coming home to a house where we hadn't had any groceries. Anyway, so I had to get a little bit creative with what we had on hand. And so anyway, we made it work. I'm beyond hungry. I love carbs. So clearly I love carbs. Anyway, so it normally wouldn't have been a big deal if we had just been home and I could have been planning on the meals and everything we were going to have. But that's okay. All right, well, I wasn't planning on checking in until I had results, but I figured I'd just document how today went. Oh, that accentuates my gray hair. Let's close that. There we go. So hubby had today off, so he hung out with Ladybug all day today. I just woke up feeling not awesome. I had to fast, and then, you know, being a carb heavy person to not having any carbs, and then I'm kind of dependent on my pop these days. So yeah, I felt like garbage. So if you've ever had a PET scan before, you know that it's a pretty specialized scan. So my last scan, it was at a mobile unit, and this one ended up being a trailer outside as well. Very similar experience from the last time. They inject you with the tracer. The ladies that helped me today, there were 2 of them out in the trailer, and they were just so sweet and personable, and we just chatted. I actually didn't even notice that she was putting the tracer in. So this side is harder to find the vein, and the last couple of appointments that I've had, the people have been having trouble finding a vein, but she had no trouble. Got it in there. We chatted, and then you just have to sit reclined and just rest for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And then you go pee to get the tracer out, and then the scan is another, 20 minutes, nothing big. Ultimately, I feel like garbage again this afternoon. I don't know. I'm just not, I need to get some water in me. I still haven't had a pop today, and I haven't eaten a real meal. So I know that's why I feel like crap, but the kids really wanted to go to the library. So I'm in the car waiting for them to get all of their books and everything. Hubby went in with them. So they're getting all their stuff. And then by the time they're done at the library, like, it's already 4:15. So by the time they're done, we're going to be approaching 5. So I think I'm just going to convince everyone that we're going to have an early dinner, and so I can go eat. And then ultimately, just headspace wise, I'm nervous, I'm anxious. It just brings back a lot of memories. I'm hopeful that it's nothing. But overall, I'm just kind of relieved that it's over, but also on edge waiting for the results. It's a really interesting phenomenon. They said my doctor should have the results in 24 to 48 hours. So after about 48 hours, if I haven't heard anything, I should call and get the results. So we'll see. We'll see what she says. Okay, happy Tuesday. We are still waiting for results. Sorry, I just put my contacts in. But I thought I would show you, because this has dragged on and on. Word is starting to get out that I'm dealing with this little scare. So I've been getting some packages, and I thought I'd show you, because apparently these are things you can order online and send to people. So I thought I would show you what they are, and this isn't sponsored or anything. I don't have an affiliate link. I just thought you might be interested to see these. So this first one is a Bright box. It has this cute little label. So happy to see you. And it has a little card on the inside. And it has a mask and a sweet little necklace and just all kind of yellow things, a little box of sunshine. So I thought that was super duper cute. And then this box is Munchie Mountain. Now this one had all of the, the card sentiment was on the outside of the box. It's just on the bottom here. And then if you open it up, it has a all sorts of goodies and snacks and whatnot. So those were both just awesome pick-me-ups that arrived for us, and yeah, very much appreciated. So I just thought you might be interested. So this one again was munchiemountain.com, and then this one was a Bright Box. So I'll see if I can find links, and I'll put links down below so you can check them out. But again, I'm not an affiliate or anything. I just thought you might be interested. I had to come into the laundry room to get some quiet. It was clean. The PET scan was clean. So, let's see, what day is it? The 7th. So this was almost a month. The scare lasted almost a month. Gosh dang. Now we get to move on. Man. Anyway, sorry. I need a minute. I'll be back. Hey, did you make it through all of that? Virtual high five if you did. I know that was a lot. That was a lot of crazy hair Stephanie to go through, a lot of talking. So I'm going to keep this brief. First of all, my doctor, she is not a woman of many words, and just said the scan is clean. I know I didn't really give a lot of detail in that last video. They think that it was probably just some contamination of the field on that very first scan, that there was something went wrong on the image and showed up as a hot spot. And we're ready to move on, confident that I do not have cancer. So now, why on earth did I even post this? It seems very anticlimactic. I did not want it to be clickbait, so that's why I told you right up front, I don't have cancer again. So why on earth did I do this? So I struggled with it mainly because I did not want this video to come across in any way, shape, or form of me celebrating, wow, I don't have cancer, I made it through this scare, yay. That makes me cringe, because I know people who are currently living with metastatic disease who went through something very similar to what I just did, and the results were not good. The PET scan was not normal. And I in no way want to belittle or make light of the experiences of those people, and I do not want to trigger that either. And so that's why I also gave kind of that trigger warning at the beginning. So why am I sharing this? Why am I posting this on YouTube? I believe very strongly that we can learn from each other. I watch YouTube more than I watch regular TV because I like to learn from the experiences of others. And this is kind of me adding to the discussion of young moms with breast cancer. And I wanted to document what it was like for me going through a recurrence scare. And it was a small one. I mean, my doctor said through the whole time, her concern level was low, that even if it was cancer, it wasn't going to be like super horrible. And mentally, I told myself that, but it was hard. And I thought, okay, well, what can I learn from this experience and what can I share with others? And so really it kind of boiled down to three things. So the first thing I learned is that you really shouldn't suffer in silence. The thing with scans is you think, oh, well, I'll tell people if the results are bad. I don't want to worry people unnecessarily. So then you're taking that worry on yourself and you're suffering in silence. Don't do that. Find someone that you can trust. I kept my circle small because I was conscious of my children. We didn't want to worry them unnecessarily, so we put it off as long as possible. But eventually they caught on that I was having more doctor's appointments than usual. So we did sit down and tell them, but I wanted to be able to frame it in the right way with all of the facts rather than them hearing things secondhand from someone. So I chose to keep my circle small, but I also didn't really accept help that was offered from those people. And I probably should have. I should have taken people up on their offers of support because I don't want to cause drama. It makes me anxious. But you know, the people that did support me and that knew about it, I was so grateful because it was horrific. Even though mentally you tell yourself it's probably nothing, and even if it is something, it's not horrible, you can't control how you feel. And so that leads me to my second one, is to give yourself grace, because those emotions, those memories, no matter how long it's been since you've had cancer. I mean, I'm almost 4 years out from my last round of treatment. And I was shocked by how my emotions were so close to the surface. It did not take much. Just that door had to open just a tiny bit, and those emotions and memories came flooding out. I was shocked. So just give yourself grace. And if you do better emotionally than I did, I'm very happy for you, because genuinely, I'm not being sarcastic. Like, I hope that you fare better than I did, for sure. And then finally, just keep your eyes open. Things are different from when you first have cancer to if you go through a recurrence scare. I'm on my 3rd clinic. My doctor is actually my original oncologist, believe it or not, in a different state from where I started from. I know it's a small world, but just keep your eyes open. I was not pleased. You saw that this thing dragged on way longer than it needed to, in my opinion. And I'm not trying to bash the clinic. I know they were doing everything they could. And now it's up to me to decide if I'm okay with that, or if I would like to start looking around for different oncologists in case something does come up in the future. So that's just another thing to just keep in mind as you're going through something like this. Okay, so that's all. That's all for this story, this chapter in my cancer story. I will go back to what I was doing, just watching my body, being open with my doctor when I tell her what's going on with my body, knowing full well she'll say, well, that's not cancer, but I'm gonna keep asking you anyway. Remember all of that? Like, long story short, cancer sucks. It just does. And whatever brought you to this video, whether you have a loved one with cancer, you're living with Mets, you're going through a recurrence, just know that I'm here. I would love to chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that cancer has to be part of your story, and I will see you in the next video.